Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Today we are going to be reviewing a nano polisher from In2Detailing. Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Do not forget to hit subscribe and the bell notification. Without that, there is no channel. So thank you to all the subscribers and welcome to anyone new. Today we're reviewing the In2Detailing Nano Polisher that's been sent to me free of charge, so you can decide if that influences the review. I'm going to give you good things about the tool, bad things about the tool, and hopefully do a balanced review on this. So the aim is you're in a position to know whether this tool is right for you. First off, if you're new to detailing, what is a nano polisher? Well, obviously, it's a small polisher. Why is that useful for cars? Standard polishers tend to have 5-inch plates. You can get mini polishers that support 3-inch plates. These tools support 1-inch plates, this particular one does, and a 2-inch plate. So very small pads, very small tool, cordless. There's lots of intricate areas on cars, like behind your wing mirrors, around underneath your wing mirrors, the B-pillars, you know, little carbon spoilers on the back, the front grills, the gloss plastic inside the car that you might want to polish. So the more detailing you do and the more you fall in love with it, because it is addictive, you'll probably see these tools, you'll see someone using it and think, I'm going to give me one of those. So they're becoming more and more popular, okay? So there's the preface for the video. Let's now get stuck into all the meat and veg. Now, this comes as a kit, and I'll tell you what's in the kit, but let's just talk about prices first. It's £179.99 for this polisher kit with 2 batteries and some pads. We'll go through all of that. Just to give you a comparison, the premium market-leading brands Flex and Rupes, they're full-on kits that also contain pads and 2 batteries, cost around about £500. Just shop around and go and check that price, because it varies so much. And you also get polish in those kits, so it's not an exact like for like, but it's roughly. But it does tell you that there's quite a big price difference between this offering and the premium offering. And the key thing in this review is what do you get for all that extra money or what don't you get for all that extra money? We're going to cover that. The next thing about this tool is it weighs 900 grams with the battery on it and the larger of the 2 plates. So that is compared to the Flex, which when it's running with a battery on it and its largest pad, which weighs 1051 grams. So it's about 150 grams lighter than an alternative nano tool. Okay, next up, how long can you use this for before the battery runs out, which is very critical. You can use it timed with a full charge for 30 minutes and 10 seconds, and yes, I was standing next to it when it cut out, so that's very accurate. So you could say 30 minutes roughly. The battery is obviously going to be its best when it's brand new, on its first few charge cycles. How that runtime deteriorates over time, over more charge cycles, is a big thing that I can't really cover in this review because I won't know for a couple of years. So, you know, the battery quality might not be as good as the premium brands, but it's an unknown. Okay, so it's no load runtime at max speed. Next thing, once the battery was completely discharged, it took 76 minutes, give or take 15 seconds, something like that. Again, I was there when it fully charged and went to green. So yeah, let's say 75 minutes, 76 minutes recharge time. Now, this is a massive thing with these tools because you get 2 batteries. So you never want to be without power, okay? Or else you've got downtime with the tool. That's quite a long recharge time, but you're never going to be running the tool continually for 30 minutes. You won't. You'll be using it to polish small sections and stop. My opinion from using the tool is that I didn't run out of charge time. You often reach for this, do a set with it, and then you carry on moving around the car and go back to your big polisher. So it's very unlikely you're going to run out of power unless these batteries deteriorate or you're using them continually for an abnormal amount of time. So you should be good with 2 batteries. The speed range of this, guys, the lowest speed setting is 2,500 rotations per minute of the main axle. Okay, and the maximum speed is 6,000 rotations per minute of the main axle. To give you a comparison with the Flex PXE 80, that's minimum speed is 2,000, so slightly slower minimum speed, and its maximum speed is 5,800. So very similar, but this has 200 RPMs more top speed. So the speed range looks pretty sensible to me. It uses 12 volts, 2.3 AH, lithium rechargeable batteries which slot into the back of the machine. Okay, let's talk about what you get in the kit, guys, because that's really, really important. You get two 12 volt 2.3 AH batteries, you get a recharging unit, you get 2 spanners. I'll talk about what they're for in a minute if you can't guess. You get 3 different adapters that you can fit into the machine. So this is a very important principle of this machine. It has a 12-inch free spinning dual action adapter, so it's like a little DA. Okay, and you can run a 1-inch plate on that or a 2-inch plate. Okay, the 2-inch plate works better with the DA mode. It then has a 3-inch throw DA adapter, which is probably better for sanding applications, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. The smaller stroke isn't going to work so well on a small polisher, in my opinion, for polishing. And it has a rotary adapter, so that's a fixed rotation, no free spinning, and that will just drive, drive the plate round. So we'll talk about the 2 spanners. So 1-inch plate, 2-inch plate as well. Comes with this carrier case. It comes with 9 2-inch pads, 3 cutting pads which are green, 3 medium pads which are blue, 3 finishing pads which are orange, and it comes with 15 1-inch pads. Again, 5 of the green, 5 of the blue, 5 of the orange. That's quite a lot of pads. The pad quality is not too bad. It's not up there with the premium pads, but it's not too bad. Yeah, that's all. We don't need to go on too much about that. But that's quite a lot of value in pads. Next thing, guys, I want to run through all of the positives and negatives with this tool. Whenever I do reviews on this stuff, I tend to make notes of the negatives, so there can tend to be lots of negatives. It's like, oh wow. It was the same with when we did the DeVault review, lots of negatives I'm bringing up. But anyway, that's the job of the review, and then we'll do the positives at the end. We've already covered the unknowns, and that's battery degradation. So first negative with this tool, guys, if you set the tool upside down, it's not 100% stable and it can wobble and fall over. And the bits that make contact when you set it upside down don't have the soft rubberized grip sections on them. So the most raised bit, it would be nice to have, for that to have soft rubber on it. So it can sometimes topple over. So you would never put this on your car, rest it on your car, but you probably wouldn't with any of them. But anyway, write that down. Next thing, when you're putting batteries into the adapter plate, when you're putting batteries into the charger, they're triangle, it's like the kids and the square, round peg in a square hole thing. These are triangle pegs, but you have to get it the right way where the contact points go in. So it has to be there, so you can see the label at the right place. It allows you to put it in incorrectly, so you could actually put it on charge and not have it charging. So you just need to pay attention and get used to that. Other chargers don't allow you to ever put it in incorrectly, so that's not an issue. Going back to rubberized areas, I mentioned it would be nice to have the most raised point here rubberized. It would also be nice to have the shroud rubberized, because that protrudes just more than the head of the tool, which is rubberized. So you could tap into that. It's a minor point, but I'd love to see that bit rubberized as well. The speed control dial, we're going to be a bit out of focus. You can see there, you probably can't see the numbers. It actually uses letters, and I'd prefer numbers personally, but it uses letters A, B, C, D, E, F, and they're black, and you can't actually easily see them when you're polishing, especially if you're polishing in low light. So I'd like white numbers there. You can you click it and to full speed and it stops and you go back down. So again, it's a minor point, but that's what we're doing. Another negative is it's possible to over torque the shroud and then it just pops there. You see it pops back off its thread and then just jumps back on its thread and then it tightens back up a bit, which yeah, there you see it. So you just want to just tighten that reasonably off, but it'd be better if it could just tighten and stop without sort of popping off its thread. Next thing, as we've already discussed, 76 minutes for recharge is quite a long time. It'd be nice if they could charge quicker. Another negative is that there is no charge countdown. It's just a red light for it needs charging and a green light for fully charged, so you can't keep track of it unless you sort of make a note of when you start timing it on your watch and stuff. Again, with the premium tools, you can just see there, you pop your battery and it gives you a countdown of the charge. And the charge time is quicker on these. I think it's about 40 minutes, something like that. Don't quote me on that, although I've just said it. Next thing, guys, when you use this tool, there is some noticeable heat build-up in the neck here. The head's okay, so you're probably going to have your hands here. This bit's absolutely fine, but just there, and that's probably where the gearing is, from where the motor has to change to go in that direction. There's going to be some gearing, and that's heat is being generated. So you do get some heat build up around here. Not enough that you can't touch it, but it's just getting to that stage where you wouldn't want it to get any hotter, okay? The vibrations on this tool, I think, are slightly more than the Flex tool, especially at top speed. Not significant. I don't think it's going to give you really shaky hands. Some people are quite sensitive to that when you're using it a long time. As we've said before, when I've reviewed the Chinese offerings, as I call them, one of the compromises, you know, with the low cost is you tend to get a little bit more vibration out of the machine. So I'd say about an extra 10% finger in the wind vibration. I've talked about speed dial visibility. That for me, oh, the big un. It's a pain to switch the adapters out on this. You have to take the plate off, then you have to take the shroud cover off, unscrew the shroud cover, then you have to slot the spanner in there and take off the main adapter, put in the new adapter, put the shroud back on, put the plate back on. It takes a couple of minutes and it's a bit fiddly. Compare that to the premium tool and you just pull back there, take off the other one, plug it, you know, get you whatever adapter you want, plug it in. So that's not as good as the premium tool. Another thing with the premium tool, the 3-inch adapter, so you get a 3mm offset throw, but really you need a special type of, you don't want a Velcro plate for that, you want a plate for a sanding daisy, which comes with the Flex machine, so you can use it for sanding applications. If you're going to give this 3mm throw thing away, then there should be a little sanding daisy plate as well. So that would be good, you know. Right, those are all of the negatives, guys. The positives. This tool has all the capabilities of the premium tools, basically. You can do the same thing with it. It's spinning a disc. It's either free spinning a disc or rotary spinning a disc. The tool seems to have plenty of torque, especially when you get towards that top end as well. In the free spinning mode, I was using it towards the top end, just dialed down a little bit, and I wasn't getting any major stall. With the rotary mode, I tended to use that when I really want to get into tight areas, and then I turn the speed right down, because you're going to sling more with these little mini tools, but you're also probably going to put in little holograms, especially if you're polishing gloss plastics with rotaries at high speed. So be very careful when you're using the rotary mode on this, and keep the tool moving, be mindful of heat and stuff like that. But it has plenty of power. The weight is fantastic. You're not going to get any arm fatigue. It is a proper, true nano tool. The power speed range is really good. The trigger on it is probably an improvement, maybe even over the premium tools. It's one improvement perhaps over the Flex. The Flex has a trigger there, which is a variable speed trigger, but you never use it. You just turn it on and lock it, because it's too annoying to keep pushing with your thumb. And I think we're just used to a finger trigger lock where you can just pull the fingers and lock it on. Note, there is no variable speed on this trigger. It's either on or off. Whereas I think on the Rupes you had this, like what you get with the Air tools, which is a really nice kind of trigger design, but they haven't done that. So yeah, it's probably a better trigger overall, and it's really easy to put the trigger lock on. That just felt instinctive, you know, from the first time I used it. The final positive, guys, is the value for money. I think for £179, it's going to be in budget for a big larger percentage of the market. You've heard me say before, with the cheaper Chinese tool offerings, I typically want 50% of the price at least. You know, there's some exceptions to that rule. I mean, the Flex is made in China. This is made in China, but the quality of it is there. You know, this is a cheaper option. For the price, I think it's a really good quality tool. John, the question I'm going to get answered is, would you have this over the Flex or the Rupes Nano? Where I am now, personally, I wouldn't. I will pay the money, and I really like the PXE. I think the adapter plate system on it is genius. I love the fact it has a 3-inch plate as well, so I can actually cover parts of the bumpers. That gap between a nano polisher and a mini polisher, you can actually just about get away with this. The 2-inch plate's not bad, but it doesn't have that capability of the 3-inch to maybe even do a wing potentially and stuff like that. So the main difference for me with the cheaper tool and the premium tool is the amazing adapter plate system on the premium tool, and the batteries look like they're going to last a bit longer and charge quicker on the Flex, for example, and slightly less vibration, so a smoother tool. That is what you're not getting on this machine, but you're getting well below half price. £250 would be half price. £179 is a fantastic price. I think a lot of these are going to be sold. Reliability unknown as well, guys. You know, that's something that I can't test until I've owned the tool for a year or so. It feels like it's going to be decent quality. I've gone through and I've given you all of the negatives, quite a few of them, and all of the positives as well, guys. So it's quite simple. If you're on a budget, you don't want to spend £500, you like the idea of having a nano tool, then this is about as cheap as it gets. It's available from In2Detailing. You can try the code forensics. If it doesn't work, it means it's not discountable, and it may well not be at that price. It's a bargain. There you go. Finally, guys, thank you very much for watching. Put your comments on what you think about this nano tool, because a lot of you bought it already, in the comments, because that adds lots of value. If you're thinking about buying it and you've got any questions, let me know and I'll try and answer them to the best of my ability. And I cannot believe I've shot this in one take in 17 minutes. So let's end the video here. Take care. That's it for the Forensics Detailing channel.
Holding on to what I knew, but the moment's gone. Where was I?